Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Wow, what a crazy lady. That's legitimately insane. I totally understand not wanting to tell a paramedic if you injured yourself doing something stupid and or illegal, but just refusing outright seems ridiculous to me. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Don't want to tell me what's going on? Enjoy your bills and your wait. There are two things I must explain before we continue. One, I work as a paramedic in a fairly busy EMS system. I almost always will take time out of my day to solve issues that do not need medical transport, i.e. calling a patient's doctor to set up an appointment for them, calling them to get med refills, etc., so that people don't get hit with a bill that they don't need to get hit by, because insurance does not even touch a transport that wasn't medically needed. Two, there are generally two types of older people I deal with, sweet old grannies and people who probably are kept alive by dark magic. This is the story of the second type of person and the just desserts they got. My partner and I were dispatched to a house at around noon, and we were less than enthused. This person had called 10 times today, and 9 out of those 10 calls were ended when the paramedic called for non-transport orders, meaning they called the doctor and said, "Yo, we cannot bring this person to the ER." I found this to be strange, as it's a complete pain in the butt to get those orders, and 99.99% of the time, we don't get them. We arrived at the home and knocked on the door. This bat of a woman, who shall henceforth be known as BW, answered the door. BW: "It's about time you got here. I need to go to the hospital right now." Me: "Okay, I'll be glad to do that, but could you give me a little information about what's going on?" BW: "It's none of your damn business. Now take me to the ER." I now am fully aware of why my comrades had simply said no and left. The woman's awake, talking, and speaking appropriately, so she meets the rough criteria to make decisions for herself. I decided to keep digging. Me: "Well, I need an actual reason to go to the ER with you. Could you tell me just a bit about what's wrong?" BW: "Why don't you F off? It's my business and I'm not sharing it with some 2-bit ambulance driver." Okay, lady. Because at this point, no doctor would deny me no transport orders, and my partner is silently screaming for us to just leave. Me: "Okay, well then, get on the cot, we'll take you to the ER. Can we do a set of vitals?" BW: "Don't you touch me with that damn machine, you're giving me a ride and nothing else." Me: "Okay, you're within your rights to refuse anything, but I need your name and date of birth for paperwork, or we're going to call for non-transport orders, and you're going to stay here." BW: "Fine, my name is blank blank, and my date of birth is blank blank. Now shut the F up and leave me alone." Me: "Okay, can do." The trip is completely uneventful from there. I call the hospital to let them know to expect a patient, and my favorite nurse, nice nurse, NN, answered the phone. NN: "ER, this is NN. What are you bringing?" Me: "Blank blank year old female, refuses to share complaint, no vitals." NN: "What?" Me: "Blank blank year old female, refuses to share her complaint, no vitals, as she will not let us take them. We're 5 minutes out." NN: "Oh, okay. See you guys when you get here." We arrive at the ER and the woman begins her complaints. I will not chronicle them here, as quite frankly I don't remember all of her complaining. Walking into the ER, the nursing staff begin their usual questions, and I see NN. NN: "So what did you bring?" Me: "A blank blank year old female who is hemodynamically stable and will not share her complaint." NN: "She can go out to triage. We're busy as crap here." They were indeed busy as crap. I knew this for a fact because I'd already brought them 5 patients, 2 of which were in an extremely critical state. The woman realizes that she isn't going to get to skip the line and proceeds to lose her crap. BW: "Why are we here? I need a doctor right now." Me: "If you needed a doctor, you should have told me what was wrong, as I'm the one who tells the hospital just how badly sick or injured you are. But you didn't, because I'm a 2-bit ambulance driver." BW: "Bring me to a bed right now or I'll sue you." Me: "It's too late. Talk to these nurses and they'll get you back as soon as they can." I went about my day from there and didn't really think too much of it. We brought another patient to the ER, and Just had to know what was so pressing that BW wouldn't tell anyone, so I asked NN what had happened. NN, she refused to tell us any of what she needed, so she waited in the waiting room for 7 hours before we finally got a bed open for a person without a complaint. Me, crap, that's a long time. So what did she end up needing? NN, a refill of her blood pressure medication? Me. NN, turns out she wasn't out, she was just running low. Me. NN, yeah, that's literally what she wanted. Me. I'm going home. The compliance comes in now, though, because she just got her bills from this escapade. Because she didn't need to go to the hospital by ambulance, her insurance isn't going to pay a dime towards the bill. It costs $1,500 for us to put you in the ambulance and put that thing in drive. On top of this, she's going to get a bill from the ER for around $5,000. If she needed the ambulance, her insurance would have covered 90% of that ambulance bill, and we'd write off the other 10%, and they would have covered 100% of that ER bill. And before you ask, no, she doesn't have dementia or Alzheimer's or any other neurodegenerative disease. She was literally just a pissy old lady that I would have gladly just called her doctor and gotten her a refill, but she didn't want me to do that because I'm just an ambulance driver. Perhaps if she wasn't so angry and bitter, she wouldn't need the blood pressure meds. I don't understand how people have the energy to be that spiteful, or maybe it's what's keeping them alive. They've both become a hate generator and an engine that runs off it. As long as they keep the hate fire going, they're going to keep on existing while the world loses truly kind and caring individuals. And our second story. I do not work there and here. For starters, I have 3 jobs: a manager at a fast food restaurant, a volunteer staff member at my church, and one of those makeup companies rep where you make your own hours, pay is all based off commission, and I mostly join to get good discounts on their products that I love and make an extra buck. I've done this for a bit now and love my busy little life. I never considered something like this happening, but here we go. I was at the church doing some things in the kitchen. While I was in there, a lady I don't know too well, who doesn't actually come often, came in to talk to me. I don't mind the company, and we started talking, even though technically she was not supposed to be in the kitchen. After the exchange of a few pleasantries is when it started. Lady, so you're a manager at X Burger, right? Me, yup, they're super great there, working around my church schedule and giving me special days off for events. Lady, all right, so I need you to make sure they make my burger right after service. I want no pickles and extra mayo, large combo with a Coke or Pepsi, whichever you have. I'll be by right after church, so have it ready for me, okay? Me, I'm sorry, but I'm not working right now. You can call the store and place your order or do it through the app, but I'm working here right now. Lady, shocked, but you are a manager. I need my order placed. I don't want to have to wait in line forever. Me, I'm not on the clock. I'm not in uniform. I have work to do here. Lady, you don't work here. You work at X Burger. Me, I work here and there. When I'm here, I'm pastoral staff. When I'm at X Burger, I'm an X Burger manager. I work here tonight. I can show you how to use the app or give you the store number, but I can't place an order for you. Lady, no, I don't want to have to bother with all that nonsense. I'll just have to go to X Taco instead. I just don't understand why, as an X Burger employee, you can't just make my food for me after church. You work there. It's your job you get paid to do. After that, she just left the kitchen, which I didn't have much time to think on because I had work to do. She refused to look at me until after service when she pulled the head pastor aside and was saying something, shooting daggers at me. I paid it no mind again. I had work to do and didn't want to assume she was talking about me. Whatever she has to say to pastors, none of my business. Just before she left, she came up to me and gave me the most fake smile I've ever seen and said she was sorry for bugging me when I had so much important work to be doing and that I should have told her I had work to do. She still rarely comes and acts like nothing ever happened. Pastor never told me what was said, but made a big point to tell me I was doing a great job that night. So her logic is that anyone who has a job is always working, even if they're not at the building they work at? Is she okay in the head, or should we be concerned? Does she realize that you only get paid for the hours you were at your place of work and not for just being employed there? And our last story. HOA versus U.S. military. Let me start by clarifying that this is not my story. I heard it at a veterans hospital where I work, and it involves a homeowners association imploding. This soldier lived in an HOA, in a rather nice house. He paid his dues and taxes, not owing a single penny to anyone. Then he was called up and put on deployment. During his deployment, the HOA seized his home and worse still, sold it. Despite the soldier continuing to pay his HOA fees, he was completely unaware of this until he returned just over a year later. Immediately, the chain of command went into action. To provide some clarity, when a soldier's on deployment, it's illegal to seize any of their property. Even the IRS is barred from taking any action. Ignoring the letters sent by the JAG, Army Judge Advocate General's Court, the soldier and JAG decided to sue the HOA. It turned out that the HOA had violated 11 federal laws. The judge then awarded the soldier $1.5 million and the immediate return of their home and property. If the property couldn't be returned, federal prosecution would occur. The soldier did regain their home and property, but it appeared that the HOA board had kept it. Interestingly, all board members had to sell their homes. The HOA was dissolved by court order, and as for the board members, they were never seen again. Rumor has it they're in prison. Mess with the military and deployment? That's no joke. I'm glad they were vindicated and property restored. Silver lining was the HOA was dissolved. Screw those POS entities. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.